Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to rip this dryer apart and pull the drum out and replace the belt. I'm also going to take a look at a couple of other issues I've got going on. I think I have a bad felt seal on here. You're going to want to disconnect the power from this dryer before you get started. Let's get going. Alright, so I'm around the back of the dryer. First thing I'm going to do is remove these two bolts here. I'm going to use a 5/16 inch socket and a 1/4 inch ratchet. I've got a catch container, something to put the screws in. I'm out in my garage, but keep in mind when doing this you're probably going to have a lot of lint flying around, so you either want to have a vacuum handy or do it in a space like a garage so you don't fill your house with lint. Just pop these clips out. Okay, so this will actually lift up, and in the front it's going to look like there are screws, but they're just guide screws, so it should just pop right off here. Let me move the camera. Alright, so I'm just going to lift up in the back, get my hands in the front, pull up. Okay, see what I mean? It looks like those screws are actually screwed into the lid, but they're not. Those spring clips actually hold it in. Okay. Next we're going to proceed to remove the screws along the inside of this front face. So I don't know if you can see those or not. Let me set the camera down. Alright, so I need to remove these wires. You're going to want to pay attention to which wire goes where. It's likely that they'll only go on the lead that they belong on, but if anything, you could either draw a diagram or take a picture. In my case, I've got a video. Okay, so I'm actually gonna go for this one right here. Now it looks like there's another one further down going the other way, and you're probably thinking, how in the world am I going to get that? But you don't have to, because the front face actually has a little cutout, and you probably can't see it now, but when we get it off I'll show you where that is. I may need a shallow. Just take my extension off here. Same thing, 5/16, and try not to drop it. When you put it back together too, a little hint, it's got a clip with threads. I don't know if you can see it here or not. My camera's going out of focus because of my hand, but basically these kind of clips, they can slide around, and it's true of other things such as dashboards of cars and so forth, but sometimes it pays to make sure that those are in place before you put everything back together. Okay, and I'm just going to get the other one on the other side here. Alright, I just switched to a fluorescent light because the heat thrown out of that other light was a little too much. Incidentally, you can see the front seal here, and that's one of the things we're going after here for repair. That needs to be replaced. I did the one in the back in the past. I guess I should have done them both. Not quite. Okay, I need to move the camera here and then we'll pop this off. Okay, this is just going to lift up. It sits on a couple of tabs. Get it right out of the way here. Alright, before we get started, let's just pop these other terminals off. That's the light, and then we have another sensor down here for the lint screen. Right here, just keep track of where they go. Again, it's likely they'll only go back on the one they belong on, but a safe bet is to just keep track. Alright, so we're going to remove this, and then there's two more down below. Same 5/16 inch socket. Let's just see if we can get this out of here. Alright, so this is the felt seal that we need to replace. There's one in the front, one in the back, and obviously this keeps the heat in the dryer, in the drum. So as the warm air is being blown into the drum through that mechanism, it should be forced out through the vent here, which vents to the outside through the lint screen. Well, if you have a seal that's gone, front or back, a couple of things can happen. One, you're going to lose your heat. It's going to circulate just moist air, moist warm air. It's just going to keep circulating through. It never pulls the moisture out, so it takes a long time to dry. And then the other thing that can happen is clothing can actually get pinched between the drum and this mechanism, or where the seal should be, front and back, and actually ruin your clothes. So, alright, so what I'm going to do next is actually pull this drum out so we can get a good look at everything. Keep in mind you have a belt going around it, so you're going to need to remove the drum from that belt. So let's go ahead and do that next. Alright, so there's a couple of wheels that this rides on in the back. I'm just going to lift up and pull out. You can see them right here and here. You can see that rear seal. Alright, I'm going to try to get you a shot of the tensioner pulley. Show you how you can actually retract that. Get the belt off from that. It's right there. I don't know if you can see that or not. That actually provides belt tension. Okay, I just released that belt, which gave me a lot of slack on my drum. Alright, so before I put this back together with the new belt, I'm going to actually vacuum it all out and clean it up real good. Try to get the motor as clean as possible. You know, while you have it apart, you might as well clean it up. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get my vacuum and do that. Make sure when you're cleaning out the inside of the dryer, you do a good job cleaning out the vent port, along with this vent piece here. You can see that this is packed in there pretty much solid. And this is actually a fire hazard. And it also makes your dryer pretty inefficient because this ends up retaining moisture and the moist air can't get out by it. So make sure you do a good job cleaning it all up before you put it back together. Alright, so I've determined this dryer is not worth repairing, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to route the belt anyways, in case you're watching this video to replace your dryer belt. You're going to drop the drum in place on these wheels, like I showed you earlier. You want to inspect your felt seal and everything and make sure that that's in good shape. Otherwise you want to replace that at the same time. You can get them on eBay along with a high temp glue, relatively inexpensive. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is, if you look at this idler pulley, you're going to have to retract it this way towards the motor. The belt on the right hand side, actually the back of the belt goes on that idler pulley, and this one happens to have a little groove you can see. And then this belt goes around the motor pulley, so it would be the inside. The grooved side goes against the motor pulley. The back side of the belt goes against this idler pulley, and then it wraps around the drum. See if I can show you, like this. Dropped off my pulley here. Okay, so that's how it works. Alright, let me show you what's wrong with this one. I've actually repaired this dryer before. I mentioned the rear felt seal had gone, but this has separated. If I flip it around, you can actually see that the metal has torn apart, and so that's really not worth repairing at this point. And I'm just going to give a shout out to Ron and Pete, because they wanted to see my previous repair. What ended up happening was this commercial quality stainless steel drum had cracked, and I repaired this, and obviously this thumped as it went over those two rollers, and it actually created a little bit of forward tilt, and I'm assuming that's what ripped that apart. So hopefully this video has been helpful. This is going to be recycled. This could actually be used as a fire ring possibly, but it's stainless steel, so I'll bring that to the recycling facility. I'll haul this motor out because it's also worth pulling those out and bringing that back separately. They'll give you a little bit more because of the copper winding. So good luck. If you're repairing your dryer, take your time. You know, keep track of where the wires go. Have a container for all your screws. Make sure everything's clean. Inspect your wiring. You can see this one here got hot, which isn't real good. So I'm off to buy a new dryer. Thanks for watching. Leave questions and comments below and hit that subscribe button if you found this video helpful. Have fun.